Hi, thanks for joining me for Coffee and Card. So for this month we're using a new stamp set and punch, which is the Alphabest bundle, which is this lovely alphabet stamp set with these extra bits at the bottom, and then the punch which goes with it, so that allows you to punch out the shape, and this gives you the option to do some interesting patterns or to give yourself a border around the letters. So it's quite a nice flexible set, and actually since I've had it I've used it loads for some other things as well. So this is the card we're making this morning, and you can see what I've actually done is I've used the punch to just punch out loads of different DSP and to create a bit of a pattern with it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So first of all, you're going to need a square card. You could do it with a rectangular shaped card, but I found it a little bit easier with a square card. And this is 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres, or that's 4 inches by 4 inches. And then what we're going to do first of all is we're going to take some scraps of DSP. I've chosen some old DSP that's like gingham pattern, so you've got the slightly wider one that side or the thinner one. And the great thing obviously about Stampin' Up DSP is it's double-sided. And we're just going to punch out a few of these. I'm just going to go that way because I think I'll get more out of it this way. So you're just going to punch out a few of these. I'm just going to do that many so far. And I've chosen roughly 3 different colours. You can see on the one I showed you first that was kind of a similar kind of colour theme, but they had different images on them. So that's the nice thing about this, is that you can kind of stick with the same colours but go for some different patterns. So on the other one I generally had the green, the blue and the orange. This one obviously I've got I think this is Calypso Coral, and then I've got Granny Apple Green, and then I think this is possibly Pool Party or something like that. So if you stick to about 3 colours, it should hopefully work okay. And I'm just going to put them into little groups for a minute. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to put a row of them along the top, and they are going to be long ways. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue on the back. And just so that you get an idea, I could fit about 4 on this way round. So you're going to leave yourself a little border at the top. You don't need to worry too much about which way round you stick them. So basically with these ones I've got the slightly closer gingham on one side and then the wider gingham on the other, and I'm just alternating colours. So what I don't want to have really is 2 colours next door to each other, is what I'm kind of aiming for. So the next row is going to be our ones that I'll turn the other way around, and I'm just picking them up randomly. I'm not going for a particular pattern as such, but you can see sometimes it works that I've got the wider pattern and sometimes I've got the smaller pattern. You don't really need too much glue on there either, but like I say, I'm just trying to get it so that I don't use the same colours next to each other. And it does look quite nice when you use sort of some floral papers and things like that. So you can have a real kind of play around with it and see what you prefer. So we're back onto another row of going the long ways. And the nice thing about this technique is that you could really go to town with it, and you could use all sorts of different DSP. You could use colours that are more suitable for a man, or you could use papers that might be more suitable for a child. It's really up to you, just experiment. So I need to cut out a few more. So I do like this little punch actually. So we've got a few more. So that one. And I'm going to do a few more out of this paper. So it is a little bit time consuming, but I think it will look very effective once it's finished. And actually this will probably make a nice one for Christmas as well. And a really good way of using up some scraps of DSP too. So you could just do it with pieces of card if you'd prefer. So the idea I actually got from the Stampin' Up catalogue, but I've just adapted my idea slightly. It's not quite the same as they had done. So it's a perfect example of casing, where I've taken the idea and I've just changed it ever so slightly. So we're now on to another row, using them long ways. Oops. This is a little bit fiddly, I will say that. But the good thing is you don't really have to put too much glue on. Just a little dab is enough. I'm just going to finish off going the other way. And I've actually cut out too many now, but you can always hang on to those and maybe use them for something else. I think the gingham's nice with having it both ways. Works quite well. Right, let's just pop those out of the way. So that is my background done. Just going to leave that to one side to let it dry for a little bit. I'm just going to get a piece of basic white now, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp the edge and then put my letters inside. So I'm using a colour that coordinates with the DSP. I think what I was trying to say then. So I'm using Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to put the words high. So I'm going to just stamp 2 of those in Calypso Coral. And then in my other 2 colours, which are, Pool Party's a bit pale, so I might go for a slightly darker colour. I'm going to go for Night of Navy just to make sure that it's definitely seen. So there's the H for high. And then you could do it in the same colour, or you could do it in a different colour. So I'm going to do this in the green, just so that I can kind of tie all the colours in together nicely. So that's the eye done in that colour. And then we're going to use the punch just to punch those 2 out. There we go. So I'm going to bring back my thing. And then on this one, I decided to put it down in the bottom corner here. I think I'm going to put it this time up here, I think. So I'm just going to put a dimensional on the back of each of those. And then as carefully as you can, you're going to stick it over the top of 2 that you've already got there. Just get rid of my rubbish. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of twine. This is actually in a slightly darker colour. This is more of a Night of Navy, I think. I'm just going to tie a bow. So I just made 2 bunny ears, cross them over and pull. And then just to adjust the size of your loops, you just hold the knot and pull one of the ends. Just try and twist it a little bit. And then I'm just going to attach that with a glue dot. So I'm just going to put the glue dot on the knot and then just scrunch it a little bit, just around that knot, and then I'm going to just position it just up in the corner there. Let's try and spread those loops apart a little bit, and then you can trim those ends to be as long as you like. There we go, that's finished. So if I bring back the other one, obviously you can see the difference there. And actually looking at this one now, this I think would be really quite nice as a baby card, so hi baby or something like that. So You can see the difference obviously depending on what DSP you choose to use. So I hope you'll have fun trying that out with some different types of DSP. If you need any help with anything, obviously drop me a message and I'll do my best to help you. Or if you'd like to place an order for anything that you've seen me use today, then again you can drop me a message and I can add that on to my next order for you. So just a quick recap of what we've used. We've used a basic white card base, which is a square card base, and that measures 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres. We've used some scraps of DSP to cut out our little stamp shapes and use those to create our background. Then a bit more of basic whites just to cut out our sentiment there. And then we finished off with a little bit of Night of Navy twine. So I will see you next time for our second week of coffee and card using the same stamp set. So until then, have a good week. Bye.